Chet, defensively, what did you feel in that second half just allowed you guys to break the game open and hold them under 40?
Just making everything tough. You know, they got good players over there. They're well coached, so you know, they're going to run good stuff. You know, they're going to execute well. It comes down to how well we execute and get our stuff in the game. We did a good job of that.
Chet, you think you're better just finding open spots, presenting yourself for open looks where they can find you this year than your previous years?
Yeah, I feel like it's a balance. One, me learning where the open spots are, and then two, the team kind of learning to expect me to be there. You know, it's a process. You know, at first, you know, you get to those spots and they're not expecting you to be there, so they're not, you know, looking for it. You know, but over time, we continue to communicate, talk, watch film, and you know, they've been able to find me in good spots.
Chad, this has obviously been a much different season for you than last year was. How would you compare kind of your offensive game and the rhythm that you feel right now to last year during the playoffs?
Yeah, I feel like you know, I had some really good moments and stretches last year, but I feel like this year I just feel more consistent and kind of knowing what to expect, knowing what the games are going to look like, and like I was saying here, knowing where to be, when to be there, and then, you know, I just feel kind of a lot better physically than I did last year. So you know, I feel confident in my body. I feel confident in you know, every step that I'm taking. So just got to continue to keep getting better as these games progress.
Yeah, Chet, when you go into a series, first game one, do you have sort of a theory or a game plan of what it might look like or what might happen, what the Lakers might do? Or is it a blank slate? And if you do have an idea, how much was it different once you got into it on what was going on?
Yeah, I mean, we had a long time in between our last game, so you want to try and do your best to prepare for who you're going to be playing next. And once we knew that was the Lakers, we, you know, tried our best to not be surprised by anything. But at the same time, you can't get lost in that and forget about focusing on yourself and improving, and that's what we did in those practices this week. And then, you know, no matter what you expect to happen in the game, you know, you can only carry over, you know, what the game is showing you. You know, they showed us some different looks out there on both ends of the floor. I feel like we adjusted well when they changed things up. But I feel like we've seen, you know, a good majority of what you can do out there on the basketball court, so I don't think we're, like, surprised by anything.
Chet, Mark mentioned how A.J. Mitchell is an aggressive player, but he even has a better sense of when to be aggressive. I know he's still early in his career, but can you describe what you've seen out of the growth from him this season?
Yeah, it's hard to call it growth because you know, I think he showed up to our practice facility this good. You know, obviously he's continued to improve, work on his game, but you know, he's really getting an opportunity to show his ability. He's taking full advantage of it. It's not surprising. You know, he's a killer, and you know, he was big for us tonight, big for us in the last series, and he's going to continue to be big for us.
Chet, pretty grinding game there, and you know, you seem like you were locked in, but I took a moment there to kind of look at you and your reaction when Alex Caruso gets that dunk, and you just seem to really enjoy that. And in a game like this, it is such a grinder, and you know, it's the second round of a playoff. Just how hard is it to step outside for just a second and still enjoy this game and see a guy like Caruso do what he did?
I feel like that's part of the game and competing, is being locked into those moments. And you know, when you play with a group of guys that you know, genuinely care for, genuinely want to see succeed together, and you get a play like that, which is obviously a big play in the game. You know, I feel like part of being locked in is, like, you know, that should make you feel something, you know what I mean? So, you know, I was definitely juiced after that one.
Mark and Shea.
Go ahead, Justin.
My bad. Mark and Shay were talking about your motor and just your work ethic and how impressed they are by it. I'd imagine you don't really get like that unless you enjoy the process of working on your game. Just what is it about that you enjoy doing?
Yeah. I'd say part of it is really enjoying basketball, enjoying the lifestyle of playing basketball, not what basketball gives you. Kind of like just really feeding into the game, and then part of it is just understanding that you can't control what happens out there, who's on the floor, what's happening all the time. But you can control trying to prepare for every single situation. So, I just try to prepare for what I'm going to see out there and, continue to work on my game in every area that I want to improve. And then, trying to put my imprint.
Duncan, it seemed like the energy was kind of coming from a little bit of everyone tonight. I mean, just you guys have talked about it all season, but when everyone's able to contribute like that, just how effective does that make you guys in a postseason game?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, that's been our identity all year, is just getting energy and those sort of plays from, basically 1 through 11, 12, however many we play. And I thought some guys came in and just gave us a huge lift. I thought Ron was awesome. I mean, doing what he did, even just in a short amount of time to come in and do that after, maybe things not going his way in that first series, for a young player to come in and do that, I have the utmost respect for that, because he just kept his head, was in the gym every day working, and, prepared himself for an opportunity like this to come in and give us a spark.
Duncan, you had a big scoring night tonight. Can you talk about the role of, being the guy who has to hit the three-point shot, particularly in a playoff game, where you're expected to kind of do one big thing. Every time you get the ball, the crowd is basically on its feet. You're not drawing a foul necessarily. You're probably not going to get a rebound. It's do it or don't do it. Can you just talk about what that's like, and especially in this kind of pressure?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty comfortable playing that role. I played it much of my life, definitely all of my NBA career. So it's just, part of what comes with the territory. But this is what you live for. This time of year. This is what all the work's for. This is what we're building towards all year. So, it's not always going to be perfect, right? Like, even in that Game 7, I thought I probably got my best looks of the series and didn't make as many as I would have liked to. But it's a group effort, and I got to keep shooting them, and that's one thing that I don't take for granted, because the whole staff, all my teammates, are just on me about continuing to be aggressive, and that just gives me a ton of clarity.
Yeah, I think it's clear. Robinson's got the green light. 19 points in this one. And Marlon Holland not messing around at the buzzer. It goes for 10 off the bench. Pistons